Welcome to Only on Fridays, brought to you by Entertainment Brand and Business, where we bring you the narrative from the DMV. My name is Andrew Benpa.
I'm Riyadh.
I'm Emmanuel.
And I'm Charlie.
And we are only on Fridays. And gentlemen, we have to start off talking about the biggest movie that came out this past weekend. Not only the biggest movie that came out this past weekend, but the biggest movie of the year thus far, with a black superhero, mostly black actors and actresses, and a black director. On top of that, Black History Month. Shortest month of the year, by the way. Anyway.
Black on everything.
How do y'all feel the success of this movie means for future movies with mostly black cast? Is it an anomaly, or is it a sign of things to come?
I feel like this is just opening the door for us now. I feel like there should be more movies like this coming out. Hopefully, I want it to be like superhero movies, like actual like maybe thinking movies, other stuff like
Thinking movies.
something like more deep and stuff.
Oh, you mean outside of a superhero?
Yeah, outside of superheroes, like drama movies, more action movies and stuff.
Actually,
not
you can make an argument that we're already on that trend, like with the successful movies that came out, like Get Out.
Yeah.
As well as Girls Trip, which was just a straight up funny movie, and don't forget about Straight Outta Compton as well. All the success that movie had.
But thing is, like when those movies came out, when Girls Trip and all that, when those came out, there was majority of like black audience that went inside. You know what I'm saying?
But it still made a bunch of money, and they were highly acclaimed. Like Get Out is nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, it was really good.
But it was
I'm
also
saying
mostly U.S. that gave those.
That's true.
Exactly. It's like we're trying to get the international kind of attention towards it because Marvel is it's global. So So it's gonna reach a lot of people. A lot of people are gonna because they've been watching the Avengers. They're gonna think this is just another part. And the movie series coming out. Because the next movie, Black Panther is going to be in it, I'm saying? They're like, it's just, we just got to keep following the story, Black Panther, okay, what's next? And it's going to overlook that this was the first major movie, that had an all-black cast, and then, put out by a major movie provider, you know what I'm saying? That's going to kind of, I don't want that to get lost, because I don't want that to get shoveled in part of the series that Marvel's pushing out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want this to be just another Avengers movie. This is something that's huge, for African Americans, not even African Americans, but people in general in the world.
One thing I forgot to mention is it has the 5th highest box office opening weekend of all time.
In the U.S. or the globe?
No. This is just all time, but as far as opening weekends, just opening weekends. 5th highest of all time, only behind a few Star Wars movies, and the only Marvel movie that's behind is the first Avengers.
What was it, like 242 million or something?
I think it's 253.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, I gotta double check that really quick, but yeah.
Well, I definitely think it's the start of just like blockbusters in general, showing off African culture and like a great light.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one scene that I remember so vividly was the like cliche superhero scene where like a kid is like, "Who are you?" and like superhero is like, I appreciate that movie so much, and I think there will be more to come in the sense of showing off African culture instead of it being like the oddball out, like a Coming to America, like African guy in like natural like African dress in like the city of like the U.S. Like he stuck out, but like with Black Panther, it was a completely different thing. Like the location was completely different, although it wasn't filmed. But that was the focal point of the whole movie. It wasn't like an African American going to a different land. It was like the land,
That is true.
So that was solid. And like for me personally, it was my favorite Marvel movie up to date. Like I thought it was the best Marvel movie just because it resonated with me a lot. So
That's true.
Yeah, so I can understand the amount of people coming out to see this because it is a new thing. It's never been done before. So
now the question though becomes: can a movie outside the MCU or outside the Marvel universe like this, with a mostly black cast, have this similar type of success?
I think it could. I think DC could have done something.
No, not even DC. I'm just talking about any genre.
drama movies. You know,
I definitely think so. Yeah.
I feel like it could happen. It's going to take some time though, because like other countries aren't accustomed to the way the U.S. is starting to become accustomed. You know, like.
Well, that is a good point. The way some movies that have a lot of success here, especially with mostly black casts, do not have the same amount of success outside the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I think we were talking about it earlier. Like apparently, like India, like has like mostly like the lighter skinned Indian people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even with their actors, actresses, it actually doesn't even have to be India. In India,
Asia.
Asia, South America, many different countries in Africa, even sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah. You'll find the lightest skinned people, or people that aren't even fully black, to star in these movies.
It's just one of those things that, like America, I mean the U.S. right now, where we have our issues, but we're kind of moving forward with it.
We're being more progressive.
Yeah, more progressive. You know what I'm saying, and towards Africans, black people in general, but like it's now the rest of the world. This is kind of like making them see us in a more positive tone. You know what I'm saying? Because all the things they see is just American movies is just usually the bad guys.
Exactly.
It's the negative, the stereotypes, stuff like that. So they see those, and they think that's how we are actually. That's how we actually are. So when they see us as an actual person, like they have those stereotypes already in their head, and they're actually what I'm saying. So this movie kind of shifts it in a way that we're the heroes now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
We're the heroes. We're
not just the heroes. We're the bad guys.
We're the bad guys and the heroes.
Like strong warriors. It shows them in many different lights.
Exactly.
It shows many different dimensions of black people.
Exactly. Even the villain.
It shows that African Americans or black people in general, like Africans, are the same as every other person. Because it doesn't matter what role you are. You're just a person.
Yeah.
But going back to your question, man, I definitely think that this is the start of African culture, taking, the bright, or how do I say?
Do you think African culture or black movies in general, or movies with mostly black casts? Because
I don't know.
I mean,
I want to say with African culture, but I find it difficult to believe that I don't know if it's the segue into movies with mostly related to African culture having the same type of success.
Yeah.
Though I do think that it is a positive that it's been able to have all the success that it's had so far, being mainly based in Africa.
Yeah. I think that I don't think the movies will single out black people and try to make all black cast films and stuff like that. I definitely think that black people will have more of an opportunity to play major roles in films like Star Wars, this new Han Solo film.
Oh yeah.
Having Childish Gambino as Lando. Those are really important roles that are coming up. And
although Childish Gambino should have been Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know the story behind that, but
apparently he's gonna play in the future. There's going to be a Spider-Man. I can't remember. It's based on I think a black Hispanic dude. But he's supposed to be the uncle. He's not going to be the actual Spider-Man. He'll be related to.
He's a darker tone.
It was a huge thing on
Spider-Man's
Twitter,
a darker tone person.
Saying
and the new comic books
Childish
now.
Gambino posted, I should be Spider-Man. People were responding you should.
Definitely.
Would Childish Gambino make a good Spider-Man?
Yes, his character.
50% say
that's
no.
Peter Parker, man.
Well, true.
The nerdy
true.
dude.
Yeah, he is a nerdy dude.
He is the nerdiest.
But he's
black person I know.
He's super chill too, and that's how I feel Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
He's super nerdy, but he's really chill.
That's true. But I think at this point he's just too old.
Yeah.
He's just too old.
Childish Gambino.
You got to look at it especially with what's coming up with, or the movie that already came out with Spider-Man: Homecoming. Played by a kid, it would just be, and Childish Gambino already showed up in that movie. They're going to continue that.
That was the one that he was supposed to be Spider-Man for. That's the
really?
One
that's where the hype was going towards, but I don't know if it was for that film. So.
I thought it was for the relaunch of a couple years ago. I thought because he was supposed to be, they were debating if they want Childish Gambino. It was when they relaunched it last time with the British. I forgot what his name was. But it was for that time. That was when Charles Gambino was supposed to be in it. He's supposed to take over that role, but it didn't happen. So if it didn't happen back then, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. And now you said they already put him in this new movie, right? In the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So they can't. If they're gonna continue it, he can't.
Because he already has another.
He already has a role in there. They can't.
Yeah, that's true.
Saying.
So going back to the Black Panther, I thought the music also played like a major role in like expressing like African culture. Like drums are like huge in just Africa in general.
Yeah, I really love the music.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I hate to say it kind of gave me like a Lion King type vibe.
Yes!
It's weird just because like Lion King is the last movie I can remember with so many different like African types of music.
That's the one thing I liked. The one thing I liked about the Black Panther movie is like they didn't have to sell out. Like it was authentic African everything. You know what I'm saying? They had when the movie started, they showed the major tribes in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like they showed the major tribe in the opening scene. Well, when he was being coronated as a king, there any challengers, and all the different tribes showed up. So like if you're from those areas of Africa, you know exactly like, oh, that's West Africa, that's Sudan, that's Ethiopia. Yeah, you can recognize it. You were like, oh my god. And the thing is, even in the movie said they still had, the people that was patrolling the border. They lived in huts and everything. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's my bad.
No,
that's so authentic, man. No, because my dad grew up in one of those. I was like, oh my god, you know?
That actually brings us to our next
authentic.
question. Because you said you felt like it was authentic.
Yeah.
Did Black Panther have to sell out at all to have the success it's had?
No.
I think it did. Because it did follow the classic superhero story, like
it has to follow that to some degree because it's a superhero
really
movie.
Crappy cliches.
It has to do those things because it's still a kids. Well, it's still a kids movie. You know what I'm saying?
You consider that a kids movie?
But no, what I'm saying is the general people it's targeting towards is for the young, for the 8 to 15.
Yeah, it is aimed towards teenagers.
Yeah, so it has to actually hit those notes, make sure that it hits the superhero criteria. So they have to do that. But the thing is, the story, the plot, and everything, and how they portrayed it, where they actually, what they showed us, where it was supposed to be. Yeah. I was like, yo, this is exactly like Africa, man. This is exactly what we'll go back. This is how
I actually agree with you where it did have to sell out for a bit. And to be honest, all of us have to sell out in some way, our personalities, to attain any type of success. Like, we can't be fully ourselves in all types of environment. I mean, that goes back to when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, exactly. When keeping it real goes wrong.
But at the same time, the fact that it was able to show so many different authentic African tribes, cultures, people, like they weren't afraid to show dark-skinned actors and actresses.
Dude, and my favorite thing was, like, the white guy didn't save the black person.
Yes.
The black person saved the white
It wasn't another white savior story where the white person comes in, which is why I can't watch movies like, not Pocahontas, Tarzan might
I can't do Tarzan, bro. I can't do Tarzan. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah.
Well, I
Tarzan
can watch
Tarzan. Tarzan doesn't have good music though.
Like, Phil Collins is the only reason.
Yeah.
I watched the cartoon when I was a kid, but
I'm talking about the
actual
soundtrack.
The soundtrack is really good though. The soundtrack is really good.
No, you're talking about the movie though.
No, the actual realistic movie that came out.
Oh no, I was talking about I was even talking about the movie
the cartoon.
No, just the whole concept of Tarzan. Yeah, exactly.
It is messed up, but when I was a kid, I was like, oh my god, Tarzan. Now I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I was like this. Wait a minute. It makes more sense now. But like Black Panther kind of like does the opposite of that, where the black superhero saves the white man. You know what I'm saying? It's like has a whole different twist to it, and makes us into the spotlight. So that's what I'm
also
saying.
like I actually got a chance to meet the one of the head people in charge of designing like some of the rooms and stuff that were the Black Panther was filmed in.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Man, that's dope.
And she was like on stage talking about like the whole process of getting the job, where she came from, and like how she made it to like Marvel and stuff, and how empowered she felt like being behind the scenes, like being part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like even like with the soundtrack, like having like Kendrick Lamar, SZA, and oh my goodness, The Weeknd's song.
The Weeknd song was perfect.
Like those drums.
It came during the casino scene. Oh man,
those 808s are just killer.
It was phenomenal. It did a great job.
But yeah, so like the fact that not just like the people like watching, the viewers, like the people that were a part of the whole process were so empowered, you know.
Definitely.
So,
and definitely with a movie like that, people would definitely be empowered as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is a sign of things to come as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we were able to go through that without revealing any spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, make sure to watch the movie. Thanks for listening to Only on Fridays, brought to you by Entertainment Brand and Business. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Entertainment Brand and Business, as well as Twitter at EBB_DMV. Peace.
See ya.